Ciao Juventini, and it's Alberto here from All Juve Cast, back with another Juve Roundup here. We're going to recap just some of the latest going on in news and rumors and whatnot with Juventus. We're going to start off with Paratici. Paratici coming out and confirming that he's held talks with Barcelona. Now, we know that the rumor is Miralem Pjanic for Arthur. Now, recently it's also been spoken of that De Chilio could be part of this deal. And there's also talk about other players besides Arthur, Sergio Roberto being one, and of course, Rakitic being another one. De Chilio thrown in there with Pjanic. I can't help but feel that's a little much. I think a Pjanic Archer swap is fair on its own. I think if we start throwing into Chilio, I think it's a little bit much. Yeah, that's just my personal opinion, but I'd love to hear what all of you Juventini think. So comment on that below. The other reason I'm bringing up Paratici here is that we've got a lot of fans that are stating that all these rumors, all these links just seem so directionless from Juve. But honestly, I don't feel that way. Maybe under a normal mercado, I would feel that way. But this particular mercado is going to be a lot of swap deals. So it really makes sense that there's going to be a lot of links all over the place because you really want to cover your basis as a club. Because if another another team, comes in and wants to negotiate with a team, you're working a deal, that player that they're offering might be a little more enticing than yours. So it makes sense that it seems a little all over the map because they want to cover their bases, see what possibilities lie out there and what options they have. So I'm not really going to fault Baratici right now or say that this seems very directionless. Not under the current circumstances. I don't feel that way. But again, I'd love to hear your comments, guys. Higuain. Higuain is rumored to be going to River Plate, with Julian Alvarez coming back in return for Juventus. Julian Alvarez, if you're not familiar, is a 20-year-old forward. He can play striker, second striker, as well as the right wing. Great pickup, nothing wrong with that. However, for Higuain, and I know he's on the downward part of his career, however, we need to be getting at least, in my opinion, an established player, not a single prospect. If we're going to get a single prospect, there needs to be some cash involved, a good amount, or it needs to be multiple prospects. I think this swap totally just reeks of Juve trying to help Higuain out. And you know what? We're not in a situation where we can afford to make a deal. Call it ruthless, call it whatever you want. I don't think we're in a position to make a deal that would solely benefit him and for his needs or wants. That's my opinion, but yeah, I think that's a little bit selling ourselves short on an Higuain deal if it's just Alvarez. Moving on to our midfielders, Ramsey and Rabiot. Of course, these two are linked. We just picked them up, both of them, the past summer mercado and free transfers. Of course, they've been thrown into rumors involving a deal to bring Paul Pogba back. Not only Paul Pogba, but Van de Beek. All this isn't new. This is all things that we've heard for quite some time now. However, it brought up an interesting discussion where a Juventino was commenting on social media about how we cannot sacrifice Ramsey or Rabiot. Otherwise, we have no shot at picking up free transfers in the future. Why would they want to come to Juve? We've just moved a free transfer within a season. I have mixed feelings on that particular opinion. I mean, at some point, you have to factor in performance level, and the fit with the actual team. Not only from the club side, but from the player side. We all saw what happened with Emre Can. He was barely with us. Sarri was not using him at all. We have to make that move. Is that going to really reflect poorly on Juve? Not so much, because in my opinion, players, this is a business. They're professionals. They need to understand. And he wasn't getting the time. He wasn't happy. And you know what? Ramsey or Rabiot, it's got to come down to performance-wise. And I think Rabiot would probably admit he hasn't been up to where he could be. We saw what he's capable of in the preseason. He never really got back up to that level. Performance has to factor in. And I know that Juventini are split on this. If you had to choose one to go, Ramsey or Rabiot, who would you pick? You've got some injury issues with Ramsey, yet when he's as Metzala, he was playing fantastic for us towards the end. A lot of people still have faith in Rabiot, hanging on to the glimpses that he has shown us. So it's a tough one. But for me, to lose both, that's a no-go. Even if it's bringing back Paul Pogba, I don't think we should get rid of both. We can do one as part of a deal. I'm okay with that. And as far as it affecting Juve and picking up free transfers in the future, I don't think so. I don't think it's going to have a negative effect whatsoever. Again, your comments are appreciated. So let me hear what all you think about that. Moving on to jerseys. So everyone knows I'm a kit collector. The new jerseys for the upcoming season have been leaked. They're usually pretty good when they get leaked, very, very accurate to what we're going to be seeing. So the home kit now will be back to stripes. Fantastic, right? Not so much. Got some mixed reviews from a lot of Juventini. It's got 3 stripes. They don't go the full length of the shirt, and they look like paintbrush stripes. And the Jeep box is gone. And then there's gold highlights for the Adidas logo, the Juve logo, and the name and number on the back. And the Juve or the Adidas stripes are in gold on the shoulders. It's not a bad kit. It is very Real Madrid-ish looking that a lot of fans have touched on. But I don't know, it hit me at first a lot better than this particular home season half and half did. It's not terrible. To me, it just looks incomplete. Looks like it could have a little bit more to it, maybe some finer details. It could be better in my personal opinion. The away is a blue with some silver highlights. Again, not a bad kit, nothing crazy. The third kit literally looks like Halloween threw up on a piece of fabric. That's the only way I could really explain it. It's wild. If some of you Juventini like it, you like that flash, cool, to each their own. I think personally, I wouldn't mind seeing a modern take on a retro jersey. I think it would be a hit with not only the older fans, but the younger, newer fans too. A lot of the newer fans appreciate those designs from back then. So I think it would really be nice if they could do that. But that's just, again, I'd love to hear all your opinions on these kits. Last bit of news we have is, well, we all saw Agnelli liking a comment made by Juventino when asked if Juve should accept the title, and he responded, "No, we are not like Inter, merda, as I like to call them." That was pretty funny, pretty epic that Agnelli liked that comment. But the discussion comes up as now players are heading back to Turin. They're starting to train again, and it's mixed feelings from a lot of people. That feel maybe it's not safe, it's not good to lift bands just yet. What if we go over this, through this all over again? These are all valid points. And then it raises the common question that's going on amongst all Juventini right now. Do you do a playoff? Do you play the season out, or do you cancel it out completely? Like, what do you do? In my opinion, if you can play the games, you play the season out, you finish the season. If you are unable to do so, I don't think you do a playoff. And for me, it's just, I look at a club like Lazio, and in the middle of an incredible title race, do they want that? Maybe they do, but would you want that title after so long and battling for it to get it with an asterisk? Or would you try to want to play that season out and get it with the full matches played? Not only that, but could you imagine the World War III we would be facing if Juve won it with an asterisk through a playoff? In my opinion, Italian football, Serie A, you cannot handle a champion with an asterisk. It's the last league that should have situation associated with it for obvious reasons. Yeah, again, I'd love to hear what you Juventini think on how the season should play out, what they should do. Are we rushing things? Are they rushing things, getting these players back into training or whatnot? Reach out, comment on the video, hit me on Twitter. It's at AllJuveCast. Love to hear what you think. And real quick before I wrap up, if you haven't noticed, this is one of the first drop tees from Striped Hearts. It is obviously with the famous 5 who stayed back in Serie B with Lealtà underneath it, loyalty. The shirts have been a hit so far with Juventini. If you haven't picked yours up, reach out to me on Twitter at AllJuveCast or at striped_hearts. DM either account to get your hands on one of yours. The other 2 designs, one is Del Piero and the other is a Marchisio tee. Check them out if you haven't. Reach out if you're interested. Everybody that makes a purchase during the first drop is also entered to win, entered into the draw to win a Paulo Dybala Palace kit. So yeah, a lot of cool incentives to get your hands on some of these cool shirts. And of course, proceeds of every sale go to charity. I have a rotating carousel of 3 charities that I deal with, and proceeds from every sale. Even the promotional shirts that I may give out to some lucky winners through some contests, I will be coming up with the portion for charity from even the promotional giveaways. So that's it for another Juve Roundup for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. Please get involved in the discussions, comment on the video, or reach out to me on Twitter. And until next time, as always, Forza Juve, fino alla fine. Ciao.